down to business.
When he drinks, he thinks.
That's the nectar of the gods, baby.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since you've no place to go, watch the Whiskey Musings broadcast show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the #1 liquid-fueled, liquid-lubricated show on the interwebs. This is the Whiskey Musings broadcast. Okay, I gotta get rid of the. That thing is just a pain in the butt. Anyway, hello everyone and welcome. Hi, how are you? I'm seeing that my video is going all over the place. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything I can do with that. But I wanted to welcome you to the 2021 Christmas special. Hopefully the video will settle itself out here for all of you video watchers. Tonight, like we did, this is the second annual, so as we did last year, I have my special guest co-host, VIP co-host. He is the one, the only Captain Unicorn. And hey, I have the Christmas tree set up in the background. I'm all set and ready to go. But you know, as much as I love this little outfit for the whole thing, I do have to say, what is Christmas without a ugly Christmas sweater? So, my son got me this. Ironically, this afternoon, he showed it to me, gave it to me because he knew that I had to wear it for all of you tonight. So give me just a second. Let me get rid of this Santa uniform thing going on here. Got to get rid of that, and then you know what? Let's get the hat back on here, and then we'll get rid of the coat. And hey, check this. Check this out. There it is. The ugly Christmas sweater, Jameson, baby. Jameson, my favorite drink of choice. So, hopefully I didn't blow anybody's eardrums out with that lovely rendition, but I am your face for radio and non-tune carrying without a bucket host, Rick. So, all right. I love this time of year, and I'm going to tell you, I love it, I love it, I love it. And it's not just because of the gifts. It's not because of anything that happens from a material perspective. It's the friendships, the family, the togetherness. It is all about this year. And Addie, we're not in Halloween. This is Christmas. You silly person, you. Anyway, so I of course have my special guest, my very, 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 very important person, co-host, coming right up here. Let me see. And you know what? I think I'm going to screw this up because I think I left something on. How am I going to do this? Okay, well, I'll just have to save it for later, I guess. Or here's what we'll do. We'll do it here. I finally got this to work, so I'm gonna go ahead and blank him out. I finally got this to work, I think. Let me see. I got to make sure. So here he is, the special guest co-host. I know you guys just saw him because I screwed up. We were doing that stupid, technology thing. Anyway, here we go. Are you ready? One. Oh, wait. I gotta wait. I gotta wait for the video to come back up here. Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There we go. Here he is, coming from God knows where. All right, he has arrived. Holy crap!
I think I'm missing a kidney. You didn't beam me in with one of my kidneys, you bastard.
Oh. I'm sorry for that. I am so sorry for that. Anyway, hey, so welcome. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't have a Christmas special without you. I'm just going to tell you that right
Of course,
now.
because I have the full beard. Thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely. You do. You do have the full beard. You know, the thing about it is I can't grow anything over here. It just doesn't work. I mean, I get a little bit, but it's nothing really fancy. So that's the one thing that's preventing me from being a Santa Claus at Christmas. But hey, I do have the ho 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 part. Ho 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 ho. I've got that part.
That's good.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So we are here, and yes, the video. So for some damn reason, and I don't understand why, but my video is jumping all over the place. I may have to play with this a little bit while we're on the stream and all. But let me just see if I can get this to settle down just a little bit. But before we get going on this, I definitely have to ask, what is your favorite Christmas carol?
Oh, that's a hard one to. Let's see. Do you hear what I hear? Little Drummer Boy.
Okay.
Those are my two favorite.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. I mean, I like both of those, but my absolute favorite, my 100% absolute favorite, is Carol of the Bells.
Yeah, it's in the top 10. You know.
Yeah, I just can't. I mean, I can't.
There's just so many to pick from.
No kidding. There are a lot. But here's the thing. I like the classics. I like the ones with, that are sung by Bing Crosby. I can't even think of right off the top of my head. Frank Sinatra, the classics. Patsy Cline.
Anytime I turn on, the Alexa music, it's always classic Christmas songs.
Right.
Not that modern stuff.
Right. That is always that's always been my thing. Is I've loved those the classics, and
even Elvis's Blue Christmas.
Yes, Elvis's Blue Christmas, definitely, for sure. So that is definitely something that, as far as like Christmas traditions and that kind of thing, that is definitely something that that I appreciate, that I like and enjoy. All right. So what other Christmas traditions do you guys have? I mean, do you go out and like drive around and look at Christmas lights or anything like that?
Well, every year we go out and look for. There's one display we found last year,
right?
Which is what I want to do is the pixel lights, the programmable LEDs.
Yep.
He's got it full on set up, singing, trees and whatnot.
Yep. Yeah.
It's epic.
Yeah, I know. You and I discussed that last year, and I was supposed to help you out, and I just sort of flaked on you.
Well, I'm still learning on what to do, because apparently you need a controller, like a Raspberry Pi.
Right.
That talks to the actual light controller, which will be like the Falcon controller, which sends the power to all the lights. So.
Yeah, and I know, because I've researched it, because I've always enjoyed those displays. I mean, especially the ones that are set to music, and they do different ones, which my favorite for anybody doing that one outside of Carol of the Bells being my favorite Christmas song. My second favorite song is the Trans-Siberian Orchestra's Christmas in Sarajevo. That one's always awesome to do in a Christmas light kind of a thing. Yeah, light show kind of thing. So that's my favorite. But you're right. I mean, I've researched it, and you're right. It's a Raspberry Pi or Arduino or something like that. I mean, we could really get seriously geeky, but that's not the point of the show. The point of this show, honestly, tonight is just to kind of give some people some ideas. Now, when you sent me over your list, you had mentioned that we needed to do this earlier next year, because of the fact that a lot of these gifts may not be able to arrive in time for Christmas. And honestly, I thought about that, and that kind of bothered me for a little bit, because I thought about the same thing. But you know what? After going through and looking at your links and getting them set up for tonight's show, there are several items here that are on your list that actually state that they still have time to arrive for Christmas. So as long as as long as you get your orders in within, say, the next 24 hours, you might actually hit Christmas time.
And a few of those have like gift cards.
Oh,
too.
yeah. Yep. Yeah,
So
gift cards are always a wonderful thing. Yep. Not quite as wonderful as money, but money tends to be cold, you know.
Yeah, I didn't care enough about you to actually think about something, so here you go. That's how I look at it.
Oh, well, that kind of hurts. That hurts me. I'm just kidding. Okay.
I didn't send you cash.
Yeah, you know, you could send me cash. Green is always good. Green is great when it comes to green screens. Anyway, so, which, by the way, for anybody that does that, you got to understand, green, like this color green that I have on my shirt, and gray, like what Kirk is wearing right now, they tend to have some problems sometimes with trying to filter things out with the chroma key effect. That's why we were late, because I was trying to make sure that he didn't look like he was a ghostly apparition of Christmas present, past, future, whatever it was going to be. Anyway, all right. So, let's go ahead and let's get in on this. Now, I've taken some of my gift ideas and kind of sprinkled them in. So we're going to go essentially one by one. I'm going to start with your first one here, and obviously, based on anybody that's watched the program, you are a big advocate of food. You love to cook. You love food. You love to cook. You love to talk about food and that kind of stuff. So, oh boy, yeah. So I apologize for the jerkiness of the video. Like I said, I see my connection is bouncing all over the board tonight, and I don't understand why.
I seem fuzzy.
Yeah, you're unfortunately you are kind of fuzzing out. And I honestly I wish.
Don't worry about it. Too late.
Yeah, something like that. Let's see if I can.
And we're live.
Well, hold on. Yes, we are live. This is true. So let me bump up your video a little bit. And let's see if I can get yours at least looking a little better. Let's see if that kind of clears you up a little bit. It froze you a little bit, but okay. Well, yeah. See, the sad news about this is that I have no control over that internet connection, the ISP part, so it becomes a bit of a pain in the rear. But that cleared you up, I think, a little. At least it did on my end. So anyway, okay, so we're live stream, live broadcast. That's what happens. Okay, so let me move on. Let me get into. Let's go over here. And so this is your first item that you had.
No, I've seen this, advertised all over YouTube.
Right.
And I've always wanted to try some of these things, but the prices are a bit high.
Okay.
But it is interesting.
Okay. Is there any?
You can get a turducken.
Okay.
Which would be awesome. I'm sure everyone has seen a lot of these ads because they're everywhere.
Right.
But you can get, New York bagels, Chicago pizza.
Oh, it looks like there's some stuff here that's already kind of interesting. You got the pie cakin' that you discussed that at Thanksgiving, the pie cakin'.
Yeah, that's where I saw it.
Oh, okay. And it looks like, there's chocolates. It looks like there's a lot of desserts here.
But there's if it is made by a restaurant somewhere in the world, it's probably on Goldbelly.
Oh, okay. Okay. And so let me ask you this. You've seen the ads. Have you ever ordered anything off of this yet?
No, I have not done that yet.
Okay. All right.
Like I said, the prices are a bit high.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I
was thinking about doing the Chicago deep dish because I've never had a Chicago deep dish.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's Lou Malnati's. I guess that's how it's pronounced. Anyway. All right. So they've got the killer brownies. They've got all that kind of stuff. Huh. Yeah. There's a lot of food stuffs here. And the prices, like you said, the prices seem a little high, but then again, they're shipping from all over the world, so we can't necessarily fault them for that, per se. So that's kind of cool.
But for a gift, you want to spend a lot of money for a gift anyway for people you like,
right?
Essentially.
Okay.
So this is a perfect thing.
Okay.
If you want to be a little showy,
right? Ooh, they got some barbecue ribs there. King's Barbecue out of North Carolina. Okay. Well, that's cool. So that's food. That's your food site. I actually, there's a second one here, and I'll get into the next one that we have. This one came from you also. And this one kind of interested me. This is the exotic meats crate.
Yeah.
So
most everything I picked is steered towards guys.
Oh yeah, no. We're sorry, ladies. We are totally on a guy's kick tonight. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. My wife has been after me for years to get her a power drill, not just any kind of power drill, but a pink power drill.
Oh no!
I am.
Oh dear God!
I am holding out. I'm just going to tell you right now. I am holding out to try and not get her the pink power drill. Mainly, I mean, okay, so that sounds a little sexist. I'm going to be honest with you. It sounds a little sexist, but you got to understand, that's why I'm here. I mean, if she goes, and she's probably listening too, but if she goes and has that power drill and starts doing things for herself, then I lose my purpose for living. I lose my purpose for being here. Okay.
Oh, I'm sure there's many other things that you're capable of doing that she has trouble doing.
Computers, sure. All right. Okay. So exotic meats crate. I saw this, and now this is by Man Crates. So apparently they have other stuff too. I mean, it's not just meat, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, it looks like they've got some, jerky and snacks and drinks, but grill and cook, I'm imagining, has some things to it. Sports and gear. And then maker and DIY, those things, I think those are interesting. But let's check out this exotic meats crate before we kind of move on with that. So what's in the box here? Let's see what's in the box. We've got some beef jerky, elk jerky, venison jerky, wild boar honey bourbon jerky, wild boar root beer habanero jerky, a pheasant jerky stick, duck jerky stick, ostrich jerky stick, and an elk jerky strip. Now, how many of those meats have you actually tried?
Maybe elk and venison, but nothing else. Especially not ostrich.
Yeah, well, I've had duck. I have not had pheasant yet. I have definitely had elk. Venison I've had, and then of course beef. But I did have some wild boar, once, and yeah, it was interesting. So we've got a bunch of different jerkies and meat in this thing. The more the meatier, but it also looks like there's some other stuff in here. So let's take a look at the grill and cook. Wow. Okay. So it looks like you've got some breakfast making kit. It looks like there's some cast iron stuff here, personalized roasting crate. So they do have some other things, not just the beef. And a chef knife making kit.
Bacon lovers crate. That's a good one.
Oh, the bacon lovers crate. Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like there's a bunch of stuff here. The grill master crate looks like they've got a bunch of sauces and spices within it. But hey, you can always check this out. I've got all the links for this stuff in the description below. I've got all of the links down there. So, but check it all out. Hey, the cast iron cooking crate. I think my wife would kill me if I got more cast iron. I've got plenty.
How many do you have?
Okay, so let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, at least 3 Dutch ovens of different sizes. I have 1, 2, 3 grilling like I want to call them a saucepan, but they're not a saucepan. They're a kind of a fry pan. That's what I was looking for, not saucepan.
Chicken fryer?
Yeah, no. I don't have a chicken fryer, but I do have like I have a brownie baking pan, and there's another one that my son just got. It's actually his. He bought it for camping. It's this little small 8-inch fry pan, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so that's kind of what I've got. And then of course, obviously the cast iron grill top for the barbecue, that kind of thing. So got a bunch of that.
Well, you got me beat.
No, I mean, I love cast iron. I love to cook on cast iron.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't really care for it that much especially when it comes to like the re-seasoning process and that kind of stuff. It tends to get a little tedious, but But yeah, so, okay. So there's this kind of meat stuff, man crates. Well, I also came up with a meat thing, and this one actually goes for, again, it's a little expensive, but it's not just for the men. It's also for, the family as well. And this is Omaha Steaks. Now, if you're a Dan Bongino fan, he spots for these guys. But, and like I said, they're a little pricey, but supposedly from everything that I've heard, they have hamburgers that like melt in your mouth. They've got, steaks and all kinds of, I don't want to put that over it, but they've got all kinds of meats, Christmas gifts. You've got a list here. You've got several different, packages. It looks like custom gift packages where you can pick 6. They're really, really good. And then you can also do like your build your own. You can do TV offers. It looks like they've got some 50% off sales as well. All of their stuff is shipped free, and it's basically just meat. I mean, can't get any more.
I have ordered from them before.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah. I think I got stuff for my dad also. It was like extra thick cut bacon.
Okay.
It's a normal thick cut bacon is like 1/8 of an inch.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff was like almost 3/8 of an inch thick. And for bacon, that is very thick.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And I had actually a hard time making it crispy. Because when my dad got it, he tried to put it in the microwave, which I thought immediately, what in the hell are you thinking?
Yeah, I was going to say that's kind of a mistake.
I mean, I buy you good quality stuff and you throw it in the microwave. I should beat you.
Well, I don't know if I'd go quite that far, but all right.
Well, come on. You don't take a prime rib and boil it, okay?
Uh-huh. That's true.
So I always make my bacon in the oven.
Right.
Because I make a larger quantity, it makes a little less mess.
Okay. All right. Huh. All right.
But then I'll have to throw it in my cast iron pan to really finish it off.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, look at these pictures. These are some mouth-watering pictures. I'm getting like my mouth is already watering just thinking about these things.
Oh, you should have been here for Thanksgiving.
Oh, you know,
that prime rib I had. Oh, it was awesome.
Oh, I can just imagine. For those that are interested, thank you for the wonderful little spot shot here. You can go back and take a look at our Thanksgiving specials. He did talk a little bit about that, about the prime rib. One of these days, I think we're going to have to post some photos and stuff afterwards. I know last year we did, or not this past time, but last year we did a follow-up to the Thanksgiving special. But we should I should probably get some of those photos from you and post them on social media. That would definitely be something for sure.
There you are.
Yeah. Post them up there. All right. So moving on from the food, because, you know, if anybody hasn't had dinner yet, this is really going to be a bit of a problem. Oh, what the heck? Now I've popped up. How did that happen? Shoot.
You pressed a button.
I must have pressed a button that made it go. I don't know why, but anyway. Okay. So here's my first entry in this. And I gotta be honest, I've been looking at this. This is something that, you know, if you have kids, and I have kids, obviously I have one in particular who is very interested in this. She actually has, kind of mentioned this over and over and over again. And this is just one of a few that I've seen, but, it's really kind of fun for anybody that's interested in not necessarily a board game, but a interactive game. This is what I think is kind of cool. This is called Murder Mystery in a Box. And, basically what this does is they send you, this is a subscription-based service, and they send you these boxes once a month, and you go through and you're supposed to try and solve the murder mystery. And what they do is they put in clues, they put in, you know, all kinds of stuff, and you're supposed to go through and try to solve the case. And, you know, my daughter's been after me for this, for a while, and maybe if she's lucky, I might get it. But basically, I mean, you know, if you get somebody who's really interested in crime solving, things like, the old board game Clue, that kind of stuff. You can get this, and they can go through their fantasies of being a detective, to be able to, basically enjoy your gift all year long, I suppose.
I actually bought one of these or one like it for Ashton last year.
Yeah.
We have yet to actually do it.
Mm.
Because it's really interesting because it has all kinds of evidence.
Right.
It has receipts and phone records and other stuff, other clues that you have to go through and look at. And it's really interesting because, Addie is really into, murder mysteries and anything having to do with trials.
Yes.
So, and she wanted it, so I got it for her, but we just have to find the time to actually do it.
Right. Yeah. For those,
it'll take a long time to solve this thing.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Addie runs her own channel, Addie Trials and stuff, and she has other pursuits that she does that I'm not allowed to talk about because apparently she'll get in trouble if I do say something. But she does work for a major crime network that transmits on YouTube. How about that? Anyway, has the initials L and C in it. All right. Can't get any closer than that. All right. Okay.
I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem, but
yeah, well, you never know. Anyway, she's followed a bunch of cases. I never got to ask her, has she been following the Epstein trial at all? Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. Off track. Is she following the Epstein trial at all?
I'm not sure how closely or if at all, really.
Okay. I'm just curious. I mean, it's that's definitely something. I mean, I don't want to get into politics or anything like that. This is Christmas. All right, let's get back to the show, the Christmas special. Anyway, I'll have to talk to her. I'll have to text her or something, or whatever. Anyway, okay, so moving on to your next thing. Now, what goes with whiskey, or better yet, scotch, or possibly a little cognac? What would go with those? One of your choices. That's right. A cigar. Check this out from cigars.com. We have premium cigars, machine-made cigars, accessories, so on and so forth. But checking this out, look, I'll be honest with you. When I was in the service, and of course this is going back a few years, but when I was in the service, I actually started smoking things like cigars. I started to enjoy a cigar now and again. And when I got up here, where I currently live, here just outside the studio, I would have a cigar as well. So having cigars was kind of like a manly type thing to do. But I've never actually found a really good cigar that I could sit and enjoy by the fire with a glass of my favorite alcoholic beverage in my hand. Mm-hmm. What about you?
No, I've, like I said, I've tried cigars in the past, because they're, of low quality, so I didn't really see the appeal of them. But maybe a higher quality cigar with a higher quality alcohol would enhance the experience.
Now, if anybody watches or follows anything on the Daily Wire, that the guys get together, they do these backstage things. And there's a couple people there who actually will have cigars on the show. There'll be, cigars and drinking on the show. So it's kind of interesting to watch their specials are usually an hour long or whatever. But anyway, okay. So yeah, and it looks like you can join the mailing list and get 15% off the next order. And it looks like it's a community of cigar loving fans and experts, with a belief that site experience should be powered by you. So it looks like you can shop a whole crap load of brands, which looks nice, and you can view all of the cigars. You can get a humidor. Interestingly enough, you threw that in your list. Now, understand, we did not communicate in terms of what the lists were between us. So he threw this in, and the funny thing was, I actually am waiting on a box from our next spot, and this one's my contribution. I'm actually a member of this. It is a subscription-based service, but the nice thing about this service is that if you don't like what they are going to provide you, because they'll give you a pre show of what it is. If you don't like what they're going to provide you, they will actually allow you to opt out for that month, and you just go to the next. You don't get charged or anything. So it is based on whether or not you decide to take these items or not. I've spoken about it before on the show. It's called Bespoke Post. And Bespoke Post, honestly, it has like all different kinds of things. They have clothing, they have adventurous items. You go through and you go onto the site, and you kind of pick the things that you're interested in. And then they go around and they find these boxes or these specialty items, and they provide them for you. Now, I'm going to break away from this real quick. I'm going to get us back to, as soon as I can find it. Here we go. Oh, wrong one. Ha ha. I'm cutting you off. Here we go. All right. So, yeah, that's just, it was right above, the button was right above, but let me show you. So I am a big aficionado of knives. I love knives. I love anything sharp. Here is an example of something that Bespoke Post sent out. And this is a good quality knife. You should see the thickness on this blade. I mean, this is like, that's a full tang too. So it goes all the way back, and it's very, very strong and tough. It's a little short, but it's good to just kind of hang on your belt or whatever. And then there's also, hang on just a second. Let's see if I can pull this out without killing myself here. All right, I saw this, and I kind of had no other choice. I had to have it. So this is, whoops, let me get it over. So this is like a hatchet with a really, really hardwood handle. I think this is, I don't think it's oak, but it's some other hardwood. And they do a good job with a lot of these things. And there's a few things that I've gotten from them over the course of the time. I mean, obviously, I think I've shown the whiskey toothpicks and the whiskey glass. This glass that I'm drinking out of. It came from there as well. Plus, I think you guys have seen the balls, the big balls. Yeah, I drink my ice. I got big balls of ice. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't really care for I mean, I'll be honest with you. They were kind of novel. The big balls of ice were novel at first, but they're a pain in the ass to get out of the holders. So that's why I don't use them as much anymore. Occasionally I'll pull them out.
So you're not very skilled at handling your balls, guys.
I'm not skilled at handling my balls. Nope, not at all. I'm definitely not skilled at handling my balls. I'll leave that to others. Anyway, moving on. So going back to the Bespoke Post, again, this is it's a subscription-based service. It's based off of what you have chosen, and you go through and you hit your interests. So obviously I get a lot of things that are dealing with whiskey and knives, and that kind of stuff, but you can look at these and, the pricing, honestly, I've actually gone through and like found the things that I've decided to purchase and gone to the manufacturer themselves. They don't do any markup. I don't know where they get these, but it is like literally price across the board. It's the same price across the board. So obviously they get some kind of deals here. But they've got all kinds of stuff that you can look at and deal with. And it's kind of cool. You basically you join for free. And again, like I said, if you want the box, they'll send you an email at the beginning of the month, and they'll say, hey, your box this month is X, whatever X is. And you can do a couple of things. You can choose the box. You can say yes or no. Or if you find that you like what they're going to send you, they will actually also offer up some additional options as well. And so this is pretty cool. And like I said, they've got all kinds of stuff. They have clothing. They have all kinds of things that are available for you for this. And you can see right here, even in the photo, I mean, you've got looks like some pretty cool headphones. You've got the shaving kit. or shaving stuff. You've got wallets, pens, stationery, again, more shaving items. It's kind of leaning again toward men, but it is pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty cool to take a look at and stuff. Sometimes I just browse through and just kind of look and see, hey, that's kind of cool. But they've got like camp gear. They've got cast iron. Again, I've already pointed out cast iron. But they've got a whole bunch of stuff. This is called Bespoke Post, not Bespoke's Post. Okay. My wife mispronounces it every single time. And this one is actually due to my son. My son got me stuck on this. He's actually, just as a side note, he's actually part of a fishing tackle of the month club thing where he gets a bunch of fishing tackle sent to him every month. And it'll be, a bunch of different lures or whatever else. He's really big into bass fishing. So that's an option for someone if you're really thinking about it. As you can see, they do have gift cards. So if you decide that you want to get somebody a gift card and give them a try, you can certainly give them a shot. So they do have that available. All right, let's move on to one of your locations. This, oh my gosh. You see?
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, really cool. Talk about survival nut. I mean, holy crap.
Yeah, it's got everything. It's got your paracord. You got a flint.
Yeah.
What else is there? Was that a whistle?
Looks like they've got a whistle. You've got a flashlight. You've got a braking tool and a pen for if you get stuck in your car. Yeah. You've got a knife. Looks like there's like a credit card multi-tool.
Multi-tool, yeah.
Right there. And then of course you've got the good, I'll show you this here in just a second. Let me get back up. Oh, it's right. Okay. It's right next to it. The little paracord, bracelet kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. Now that didn't come with I did not get this. Okay. I did not get this, but I did get this. I actually got this from Bespoke Post, believe it or not. That's another one of those things, but anyway, so yeah, so it looks like this, and I want to highlight this now is showing that it arrives after Christmas because of whatever, but it looks like there's only 20 in stock. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, that whole arriving after Christmas thing. I mean, I used to worry about it, but what I've done in the past is when things like this get hung up, because they get hung up in shipping. But what I've done in the past is I've like printed out what it is that they're going to get, wrap that up, and then be like, hey, it's arriving whenever, X, Y, Z, whatever it ends up being.
Yeah, I've purchased things for my kids, and like one or two things are going to arrive after Christmas.
Yep.
So that's how you extend Christmas.
Yes, exactly. Gives you an opportunity to extend and, present something else for Christmas. They at least have something to open, and it gives them something to get excited about when it's coming, when it is coming. All right. So the next one, this, when I saw this on the list, I thought torture device.
Okay.
You ready?
I thought it was amusing.
It does look amusing. But I could see somebody going Tim Allen on this thing and going more power and trying to get somebody who is really, really shocked. Like, not just a small buzz.
Okay. Being an electrician, I was drawn to that.
Ah, yes, of course, Sparky. Why not? Anyway, so this looks like it's a reaction game. And here looking through this, I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool. That's pretty nice. Okay. But let me show you what they put on one of the other photos. So you have normal, which is a shock with music. You have lame, the lame setting, which is music with no shock. And then you have the extreme setting, which is the shock with no music. I'm assuming
no warning as to when it's going to.
Yeah, exactly. I'm assuming that that the music is there to kind of let you know whether or not you're going to get
it's
shocked.
It's like a musical chairs kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
When the music ends, the shock happens.
Yep, exactly.
Oh yeah, you got to play it in extreme mode.
Well, of course. And you could just pass it around until somebody shocks you. I wonder how this would work with somebody with a pacemaker. I didn't look to see if they had, any warnings on here. I mean,
hey, Dad, here, hold this, will you?
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I wonder if they have any warnings on it. They don't have any in the listings.
It's probably in the box itself, if there is any.
Yeah, maybe. It's the classic hot potato game with a shocking twist. Yeah, shocking is right. It's kind of funny. I have electric fences for my horses, and it's always funny whenever I see somebody touch one of those for the first time. All right, I'm sorry, I got to do this. All right. Side note, and why I did that. Hold on. Let me get. I had a cousin who we constantly would convince to pee on the electric fence.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry. I'm not gonna name his name. I know if my family ever sees this, they'll know who I'm talking about. But it's hilariously.
Part one. Okay.
Yeah, hilariously, he would go and it seemed like he would forget that we did it the last time because we'd just like tell him to pee on a wire and he'd go and pee on it and then, get shocked.
And then you push him into it. Cool.
No. We would never push him into it. But the thing is we would try to challenge him to see how far out he could get. And we'd say, hey, can you hit that wire? And he'd, anyway, sorry, bad. All right.
I saw that on Mythbusters. And you need laminar flow.
Well, I can tell you this much. My neighbors next door, they actually asked me, they were like, hey, I don't think your electric fence is working. And I went, really? Why? And they said, well, because I've touched it and it hasn't bothered me. And I said, well, were you wearing rubber boots at the time? And she was like, no. She goes, I don't think so. And I said, well,
why would you willingly touch it?
Well, I think she was like stepping under it or something and she touched it. And I said, well, the one thing you need to understand about this is basic electrical current and electrical setup. The ground rod goes into the ground. In the typical setup, the ground rod goes into the ground. And if the ground itself is not conductive enough, then yeah, you won't get shocked because the ground is the ground. I mean, you're the one that has to complete the circuit. So if you touch the wire and you're wearing something insulating, such as rubber boots, as an example, you won't get shocked because you're not completing the circuit. And
because cows and horses don't wear boots.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but I mean it's a high voltage shock. I mean, mine right now.
No amperage.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very, very little amperage, if any at all.
I know. Amps kills.
So, yes, amps kills. Yeah. Now I will tell you this much. Cattle fences are worse than horse fences. Horse fences, because the horses are more sensitive, they don't need as much amperage to get shocked. But I touched a cattle fence once that was turned up really, really high, and I got like blasted. I was a kid, and I got blasted backwards. I mean, I ended up on my butt. That's how strong it was.
Not unlike Jurassic Park.
There you go. But not quite as extreme. Anyway.
No, for that fence to have worked, that kid would have been dead.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So moving on to another one of your choices here.
I thought this was really cool. It's functional. You don't really know that you're wearing headphones, but it has headphones.
Yeah. I could see this. I mean, I actually could see this. Somebody who especially is like an audiophile or likes to listen to podcasts such as this one on the audio program. Welcome everybody on the audio side. Yeah, I could seriously see this. I mean, this would be kind of cool. And it's Bluetooth. You don't have any like wires or anything hanging out. And that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let me see. I got to see this photo. Oh, they're loving each other, listening to their own musics. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. And hey, these guys are all having a party. Ideal gifts. I like this. Sometimes these photos are like really, really. Okay, there's a serious runner right there. He's running in the snow. It's cold out. He's got to have the earmuffs. There you go.
Yeah, you take the headphones out and watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Those hats get dirty.
Yep.
Just sweat all over them.
Oh, this is cool. It only takes 2 hours to charge, but you can have 10 to 12 hours.
Nice.
That is nice. That is nice. Now, you mentioned headphones like that and Bluetooth headphones, and I'm just going to pop this back. We'll come back to these in just a second, but I want to throw this out there. So, for anybody that's looking for Bluetooth headphones, like in the ear headphones, this is a really good company. I like these guys. This is Raycon. Let me see if I can get it to where you can see there it is. That's close. Raycon. They are a little expensive, I'm going to tell you, but they work really, really well. The case itself is actually a battery to recharge the thing. And here, as you can see, yep. So when you remove it and put it back in, it gives you an indicator light. But what's weird about it is they are actually two separate. So when you pull them out of the case, they automatically come on. You put them in your ear and you can hear them saying things like, Raycon on, power on. But if one battery dies down in one of them, the other one will still run. Unfortunately, I've run across that on my own a couple of times. They'll run for about 4 hours per charge, something like that. But it's good quality sound. I actually bought these for the idea of what I'm doing right now with the monitor. But unfortunately, the Bluetooth couldn't keep up. It wasn't fast enough for the sub 5 millisecond delay or whatever that I had going on, that I had to go on, because what I would do is I would speak into the microphone, and then like a half a second later, I'd hear it come out my ear in the monitor portion. It drove me nuts. So I had to go over to wired for the moment until I buy something super spectacular to be able to do that wirelessly. Although I'm close enough to my audio board that it really doesn't matter. But anyway,
because nowadays everybody has the earbuds, and I'm on my second pair right now.
Right.
Because the first pair I left in my work clothes and then got washed.
Okay.
Well, the little small pocket on the right side.
Uh-huh.
That's where I keep them.
Yeah, the little watch pocket.
And I'm emptying out all my stuff from my overalls.
Right.
I happen to miss my headphones, and fortunately, I have a front loader, not a top loader, so there's not as much water. Mm-hmm. So they still worked. I'll let them dry out for a couple of days before using them.
Right.
But after a while, they just died.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then did the same thing with my second pair, when they're fine, though.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I thought that I wouldn't like a Bluetooth headset like that, like an in-the-ear kind of thing. But it honestly, it actually makes things a little more comfortable. Other than that, I have, anybody that's watched the program for a long time, they you have these big old over-the-ear kind of ones. This one's corded. These are awesome. These are awesome sound, at least in my opinion. Oops. Audio-Technica. They're good quality sound. But the biggest problem that I had with that is I couldn't wear hats, and I like to wear hats, as anybody has seen recently after I went and got these monitor setups. So, but Bluetooth headphones, they're cool. They're definitely something that you got to have. Oops, I just dropped those.
But the only problem is you really can't try them out before you buy them because, earwax.
Do you not clean your ears?
Oh, no, I do. But if you go to try them, not everyone does. So you can't go to the store and, put these in because someone else is going to be disgusting and have a big bottle of wax left over. It's like, you can't really do that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a hit and miss as to what quality you're getting.
Yeah, that's true.
Because my first pair were the Samsung Galaxy Buds.
Right.
And there was a huge issue with connectivity at the time. Mm-hmm. They pushed it through just to get it ready for Christmas, and they screwed up on it.
Right.
Eventually, they got the software right.
Right.
And they were pretty good. Washed those. And then I got Skull Candy. I didn't want to spend $100 on headphones that I was probably going to wash again.
Right.
Which I did.
Oh,
so Skull Candy were cheap, $40. The volume was better, went higher, and the bass was deeper.
Right.
So I like the Skull Candy better than the Galaxy Buds. But the trade-off is the Galaxy Buds was touch sensitive, like the AirPods.
Mm-hmm.
The Skull Candy ones has an actual physical button to push, and you got to push it through your head in order for it to activate. It's super annoying.
Well, I can tell you this much. I mean, Raycon's got a couple different models. The one that I have doesn't. I don't believe it has a microphone on it, but they do have ones that are noise canceling that are designed specifically for like noisy environments. They have, and by noise canceling, I mean they are. They drop the level of the sound and then allow you to turn it on, turn it off, you know, kind of like, I don't know if anybody's seen those Sony headphones where you can touch them and listen to the outside world and then touch them again and they mute.
Yeah.
So they have a couple of those. They are a little expensive. I'm not going to lie. But for a good quality pair of what would be headphones of some kind that you're going to be used to, go around and actually use on a regular basis. They're probably not that bad for the life of them. But you can check it out. Raycon, Raycon.com, for those. So you were talking about washing. And one thing that us men have a hard time doing is washing our bodies and coming out smelling good for our women. Okay? This next product that I'm about to show you, my son actually purchased some of it. And we've tried it. Both he and I have tried it. I can tell you this much. The scents are very powerful. Okay? They are very powerful. So for even the most smelliest, dirtiest, nastiest guy on the planet can come out smelling absolutely awesome. All right. So this is Dr. Squatch. Dr. Squatch. This is a product that they have shampoos, conditioners, soaps, and they have some bundles and things like that. My son picked up a bundle. I'm not exactly sure where he got it, but he got this bundle and the soap. There's one soap in particular. It's like a I think it's spearmint basil or something like that. And I got to tell you, it is powerful. He takes a shower and it fills the entire room outside the bathroom with that scent. It's very, 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 very powerful. So even the smelliest
Something happened to the stream.
Huh?
Something happened to the stream, or did I hit pause?
I think you might have hit pause because nothing happened to the stream as far as I know.
Okay.
At least no,
it was me. Somehow I hit pause up there.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. Sorry.
Oh, all right. God, you're making me panic here. But anyway, so it's a I'm watching on YouTube and it's moving now. Okay, so they have some really, really powerful soaps and things. Again, it's a little expensive. For what you get a really small bottle. It's designed for men with short hair. If you have long hair, you're probably going to be buying a whole bunch. But they have scents like pine tar, which make you come smelling out like pine. They've got, like I was saying, the spearmint or the peppermint, rosemary or something like that. And they've got some good scents in there. This one here, you've got the frosty peppermint bundle. There's some starter bundles down here as well. But this is something, if not a lot of guys really necessarily take care of themselves, in terms of, going and, I mean, you think of like soaps and stuff like that for the ladies. This is for the men. I mean, this is literally for the men. So ladies, honestly, if you have a guy that tends to have a problem stinking every once in a while, get him some of this stuff. I guarantee he will never stink again. I can pretty much tell you that. Bay rum, pine tar. Pine tar is a common scent. Fresh Falls, just reading a few of these from the website, but it's really, really good. And they're natural. They're made up of natural things. They've got, bar soaps, hair care, deodorant, toothpaste. I mean, seriously, this is talking about.
Yes, it's not a synthetic detergent like the commercials say.
Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, this is some natural stuff, and it's really good. I can tell you that the shampoo that he got, the pine tar shampoo, it actually was like charcoal black when it comes out.
Well, I have purchased these. I bought the pine tar and the bay rum.
Mm-hmm.
They had it for sale at Fred Meyer.
Right.
Maybe it's my body chemistry, but it did not do what they say it do.
Oh, okay.
It basically stripped all the oils off my body. So my skin was not rough, but it was smooth. You run your hand over your body and it glides, right?
Right. Yeah, generally. Yeah.
I ran my hand on my body and it stopped. I stuck to myself because all the oils were gone, which is
okay.
Good for getting all the smell off. Mm-hmm. But then I'd go down to Ashton and say, "Can you smell this on me?" And she couldn't smell a thing. So for me, it did not stick.
Okay. Well,
but your mileage may vary.
Yes, exactly. Always mileage may vary on these things. But as you can see here on their website, they also have, 100,000 plus verified reviews. I know my son likes it. I personally, I don't know if I could necessarily pay that much for a small bottle because I'm growing my hair out again. So I take like more shampoo than a normal guy would to get my hair washed.
Well, another plus for these, the bar soaps, at least, they have small particulates in it.
Right.
Which acts as a scrubber, exfoliator.
Yeah, exfoliant.
So it helps to dig into the, deep down dirt and scrub that out.
Well, it's kind of like, have you ever used Goop before? For like getting off grease and stuff when you've worked on your car or whatever. It's very, it feels a lot like that when you get it on your hand. So, but I didn't care for the pine tar shampoo, but the soap was pretty good. I didn't mind the soap. I think the soap was pretty cool.
Okay, next year I have another product. Well, it's a beard oil, which I didn't even think of to put on here.
Beard oil. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a local company here, and their smells are really good. There's one called Forest,
right?
Which when I smelled it, because I got train whistle.
Oh, brother, here we go.
Okay, yeah, this wasn't on the list, but it was. I can't remember the name of the company right now, but I have a bottle of it. One is sawdust or sawmill.
Oh,
it smells exactly like sawdust. Right. The forest one immediately transported me back over to Seattle, Portland.
Right.
Where you've been in the forest in the fall.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You smell the moss. You smell the dampness. You don't get that over here on the east side,
right?
Where it's dry as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And it was to me, it was a very, very good scent. Okay. And I would highly recommend all guys doing beard oil because you got to condition your hair.
Of course. Now, at one point, I know people have watched the program. At one point, my beard was a little bit longer, or can't call it a beard. My goatee, my wannabe beard. Was not quite as short as it is today. My wife, unfortunately, does not like it long for whatever reason. But she went ahead and told me I had to trim it. So there you go. I'm fighting on the hair though. I'm definitely fighting on the hair. So I'll eventually get my long hair like what I want. But anyway, but yes, beard oil, great stuff. Great stuff. Always, you got to condition. Guys, seriously, you got to groom. You got to groom up. Some girls like hairy guys, and hairy guys are cool. Don't get me wrong. Hairy guys are cool. But at the same time, you got to be clean. Because if you're not clean, you're not really going to look all that attractive to the ladies.
You ain't attracting no one.
Exactly. If you're not clean, you're not going to attract anybody. All right. So this next one is one of your technology entries, and this one looked kind of interesting.
This one, I love this one. I want it so bad. And this one is a DIY set, so right. It's cheaper. You got to buy the bulbs separately.
Yeah,
it's a good entry point.
The tubes.
These are called Nixie tube lights.
Uh-huh.
It's back in the day when the computers were first being invented, these are vacuum tubes, and I've seen how these are made.
Right.
And it's a really cool process. Each number is an individual element in that bulb.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it has like 9 pins coming at the bottom.
Right.
So, and the rest are the ground output for each.
So
whatever.
Yeah. So now I see.
But it is super cool. It's retro and steampunky. That's the word I'm looking for. Steampunky. I kind of like that.
Punky. Okay. So let me ask you this. It says tubes are not included. Do you have any idea where to get the tubes?
There are companies that make just the tubes.
Okay.
I didn't supply a link to that.
Right. But somebody who uses a little bit of Google Foo can probably find it. Okay.
Just look up Nixie tubes.
Nixie tubes. Okay.
There's a whole there's a bunch of links up top for other ones that are all built.
Right.
They're a lot more expensive.
These guys. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I like the aesthetics of it. It's really cool looking.
Looks like this is off Etsy in particular. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, cool. Yeah, I saw this and I was thinking, oh, that's kind of awesome, So it's definitely kind of retro and would be interesting for the technology kind of geeky sort of guy. I could see.
Yeah.
All right. Now this next one is another one of your technology entries. This one kind of throws you for a loop because I'm going to be honest with you. If you have kids who are trying to learn the analog of this type of device, good luck.
This one I thought it was just cool.
Yeah.
It's different.
It definitely is different. I'm going to tell you, I would look at this and I'd be like, wait, what? How the hell? I mean, I can't find. I'd be struggling.
Well, some people do not have a good grasp of an analog clock.
Right.
Addie is one of them.
Uh-huh.
And she prefers all digital. And this is another way to get around the analog clock.
Yeah.
And back when I was a kid, my dad had this marble mousetrap kind of clock.
Right.
That the time was indicated by marbles. There was basically a minute hand that went around and scooped up a ball and deposited it up on this rail that indicated the time. And every so often, after every hour, the balls tip teeter-totter.
Right.
And would reset, and the next hour would continue.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool. And that kind of thing got me into clocks. Because I have my grandfather's grandmother clock that he built out of a kit.
Right.
In my living room. And then I have a old clock from Germany that my parents got when they went over there before I was even born.
Right.
And I have my grandmother's father's mantle clock.
Grandmother's father's mantle clock.
So my great-grandfather.
Right.
Which meant the world to me when I got it. Because every time we'd go over to their house, that thing was on the mantle. It had a particular gong sound that just, reminds you of Grandma and Grandpa's place. And I loved it. And she asked, before she passed, what do you want? I said, the only thing I want is that mantle clock. Everything else, I don't care. Give me that clock. And I got it. And I was very happy.
Oh, very happy. Okay. Well, this thing, I'll be honest with you, this thing would kind of drive me nuts trying to read it all the time. Like it's 5 minutes past 11. Okay. 11:05. Got it. Yeah.
You got to do the conversion in your head real quick.
You got to think and convert and that kind of stuff. It's one of those things where it's not super intuitive, people. But hey, if you're trying to teach somebody how to read a clock, maybe it'll come in handy. I don't know. It could just frustrate people. I would get it just for that. I mean, it's like I've said before, when you get married, and this is another train moment. When you get married, getting married, in my opinion, is finding the one person in the world that you want to irritate for the rest of your life. Okay. So you find that person, and that's who you want to irritate. You want to get them going. This is something that would irritate somebody. I know. I'm weird. All right. I'm odd.
Well, aren't we all?
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. All right. So this next one, you sent over, and I got to tell you,
Are these all mine?
yeah,
You had like 2 or 3.
Sorry, I had to put the show together. Okay. Jeez. I mean, I'm more than just the host. I'm producer. I'm, director. I'm sitting here going, yeah, I'm craft services. Exactly. Exactly. But anyway, so this next one that you have, what would be a show titled Whiskey Musings without having something like this as a gift? Now, I'm not talking about Martha Stewart, okay? Martha Stewart is not the gift.
She's a hardened criminal. She's done prison time.
Oh, yeah, she definitely. I don't know about her prison time, but okay. The point here is joining an exclusive spirits club.
Yes, I actually am a member of this. I got it for my birthday.
Uh-huh.
And you get to pick which spirits you want to sample, be it rum, whiskey, vodka, whatever. Which, if you come back to me real quick.
Oh, okay.
I have a thing.
Okay. He has a thing.
Careful. You get this.
Okay.
Okay. It's really cool. On top, you get a nice coaster.
Okay.
It's ceramic.
Right.
But you get these little cards that talk about the thing you're drinking.
Right.
It gives you flavor profiles in a nice visual. So it starts off, you follow the spiral.
Right.
And that's what it should taste like.
Okay.
You get what is this? You get the spicy notes first, and then it goes into banana and vanilla and almond and chocolate.
Oh, okay.
So you can, it helps you to train your palate to identify these flavors.
Right.
And I thought that was super cool. And
yeah, that is super cool. Because I mean, I've seen people who have been able to like pick up a wine glass and like smell it and then taste it, and then they're like, notes of chocolate, currant.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
It's like,
yeah, like I don't understand any of that.
I'm like, but
these cards
a drink
will help you do that, and some of these will have a QR code you can scan.
Uh-huh.
And it'll pull up a video, and it gives you an expert to walk you through the flavor notes and how to drink it and all that.
Right. Okay.
And it's really cool. We have yet to try this one because you pick out 3 of your what is it called, drams.
Right.
Oh, what is this? Product of Caribbean. So this is my rum taster.
Okay.
So and it's just really cool, and you also get to pick out. It's a bit pricey for most people.
Yeah,
like it was $300 for a year for the subscription.
Well, now wait a minute, $300. If you broke that down, that's less than $30 a month.
Right.
So it's not that bad.
And they have some unique offerings that I have not seen. Because we have a Total Wine and More here, and I've been all over the store. Right. I have not seen some of the things that they offer.
Right.
And okay, this is a huge plug for Flaviar that is unsponsored. So I looked through a site and reading up a bunch of things. This one caught my eye. Where's the camera?
It's right there.
So it's called Rum and Rye. which is a fully mixed drink in this.
Right.
It's rum and rye whiskey mixed with ginger and bitters.
Oh, okay.
So it is really quite good. That's what I've been drinking tonight.
Oh, okay.
So, and it was like $36 for this bottle, which should be more, I would think.
All right.
For what it is. And they have just an epic list of all kinds of spirits, whatever you want to drink.
Right. Well, and it looks like I'm going to go back to our thing if you're done.
I'm done.
Okay,
Yeah.
done with the show and tell. So let me slide back over to this. So it looks like you can gift a membership. And again, this is Martha Stewart. She looks like she's had some plastic surgery. But anyway, gift a membership. So you can go ahead and gift a membership to somebody. And that's pretty cool. I mean, it sounds
And
kind
they
of
have
interesting.
monthly or one-time membership.
Right.
So there are different price points.
Definitely different price points. Good. Cool. Okay. Well, you can check that out again. All of these links, everything that we have is, I put it in the show notes or the description of the show. So you can go and grab those links out of the description on both YouTube, Rumble, as well as on the audio portion of the program on Spreaker. It's all there as a part of the description of the show. Okay. So you requested for this one to be last. I've got to admit, I agree with you 100%. This has got to be the last gift. I have, and honestly, I've been looking at these things. I've been jonesing for this. This is one of those things that just, it's really, really cool to have. And anyone who is a whiskey connoisseur, I think would really appreciate this particular gift. It is the Try This at Home barrel finished whiskey. Now, what is barrel finished whiskey?
It's a whiskey that's finished in different types of barrels.
Exactly. So basically what this kit does is it essentially allows you to take whatever your favorite spirit is, mine in particular, like Jameson. I can put it inside this whiskey barrel and let it sit and gather some more of the flavors and the notes and the mellowing from the barrel itself. And you can let it sit for a certain period of time. They do have some recommendations, but I've seen this in like multiple different ways. They've got a bunch of them out there. Not just this site, but there's a bunch of other sites. I've seen them where they've had like personalizations above the spigot.
Yeah, seen those too.
I've seen those. And actually, I was thinking that at some point down the road, I will end up getting what's called a raster image, which is essentially a black and white image of the show's logo. And I'll get one of these with the show's logo on the face.
Nice.
I really think eventually I'm going to end up doing that. But it will add character and flavor to the whiskey as it ages inside the barrel. And depending upon what kind of barrel it is, whether they've had wine in it, because some of them have had wine ahead of time, whether or not they've charred the barrel, whether it's an oak barrel or something and they've charred it, it gives you a little bit different flavors.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about the whiskey, they actually have what's called the Devil's Cut and they have the Angel's Cut. The Devil's Cut is what's left in the barrel that's soaked into the wood. And the Angel's Cut is what evaporates off of the fermenting process and stuff.
Yes, Angel's Cut is irretrievable.
Yes, Angel's Cut is irretrievable, but you can get the Devil's Cut. Now, it's kind of interesting. There is a Devil's Cut. I'm trying to think of who puts it out. I think it's Jack Daniels has
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, Jack Daniels has a Devil's Cut, which essentially is, I don't know how they got it out of the wood, but they pulled it back out of the wood somehow. And it's called the Devil's Cut. And it's pretty cool. I mean,
Beam.
Huh?
Jim Beam.
Oh, okay. Jim Beam Devil's Cut. That's what it is. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, you can take and you put the whiskey inside the barrel, you let it sit. I've seen anywhere from a month to, just a couple of weeks. as far as how it goes, but each one is an experiment, and you can experiment how long it sits in the barrel to get your flavor to come out of it. And they have several different sites, depending upon maybe not just this one, but several different sites have a recommendation in terms of size. Like you can have, just one for a single bottle, 750 milliliters. You can get them in bigger than that if you want, that kind of stuff. But I think it's kind of a really neat gift, especially if you're a whiskey connoisseur, and maybe there's a way you can get some of this and be able to enjoy your bottle of whiskey or whatever. And it's not just for whiskeys. We're talking about whiskeys here, but I've also seen them talk about how, there's other alcohols that you can put in this and mellow them out to get different kinds of flavors.
Actually, this kind of thing also works for beer.
Right.
I don't know how the process actually works, but I have tried a bourbon barrel aged beer, which was very good.
Right.
I don't know how that works because beer goes flat. You got to have it fizzy.
Well, I'm sure they put the carbonation in afterward. Because I don't think beer is like carbonation right away. I don't know. I've never made beer, although I do have a beer making kit from Bespoke Post that I need to try.
That'd be fun.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. But yeah, so I mean, this is one of those things that you can give it a shot and see, what kind of flavors you can come out from it.
And I've also looked into making my own whiskey or rum or whatever. And there are state laws prohibiting that.
Yes.
But if you don't resell it, you should be fine if you're going to try and make your own. But the finishing barrel is not distilling, so no one should have a problem with that.
Yeah, exactly. All you're doing is taking a product that has already been purchased and just storing it in some way. I mean, you can store your alcohol in like a decanter or something like that. This is no different, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I do know, I did talk to somebody who made their own wines, and wine and whiskey, or wine and hard alcohol, I should say, are, two different, they fall into two different categories and stuff like that. And if you're interested in understanding a little bit deeper knowledge and understanding whiskey, I did have an episode where I did go into some of the differences of each, whether it's like a Scotch or an Irish or that kind of stuff, the bourbon, so check that out. That's posted on both Rumble and YouTube for the videos for both of those, and you can take a look at that. So that kind of brings it to the end for as far as our gift portion of the program. Thank you for bringing a lot of those up. I know I didn't contribute a whole heck of a lot to it, but
it's fine.
Some of these things, a lot of people think of gifts. Just remember, gift card to some of these places, that's enough. Honestly, because maybe you have somebody that you don't know what they want, or maybe they're kind of hard to pick for, and they have a bunch of other choices. You don't know for sure. Gift cards always work for stuff like that. Definitely, as far as that goes, as far as I'm concerned. And to be honest, for me in particular, I don't necessarily care for, it's not the quantity of the gifts that I care about, it's the quality and the thoughtfulness that goes into each gift. That's what really matters to me. But anyway, so let me ask you this. Christmas morning, kind of walk me through your typical Christmas morning process for you and your family.
Well, I gotta build a fire first. That's paramount.
Right.
Because you gotta burn all the wrapping paper.
Okay.
That was what we do now, and what I used to do with my family or my parents. What we do now is we wake up, we open all the presents, And then I make a buttload of waffles, and just, I like getting a bunch of different syrups.
Okay. Like what
Typically
flavors?
Blackberry, strawberry.
Okay.
I have one from Costco, which is an aged maple syrup.
Right.
It is very good.
Okay.
Which would be great in some of the drinks that require maple syrup.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think of that.
All right.
So that's basically it. We get up, open presents, eat a lot of waffles and sausage, and essentially it until dinner.
Okay. So you have two children. One of them is basically adult age. The other one is almost adult age. What time do you get up in the morning?
Depends on when I go to bed. 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
But
okay.
generally around there.
So you're actually, I'm going somewhere with this. You're actually allowed to like sleep in on Christmas morning, right?
Yeah. No one ever gets up early in our house.
Okay.
Unless they have to.
So let me explain something about my house. I also have an adult age child and one that is getting close to adult age. I don't think we've like slept past 6 in the morning.
Oh, Lord.
On Christmas morning.
No. Someone's dying. I'm sorry.
5 a.m., 6 a.m. I mean, we've been woken up in dark 30, literally dark 30 in the morning. I mean, it is just, and I gotta be honest with you, when you're up late because you are waiting for Santa, you have to have, like in my case, anybody that's on my personal account of Facebook, I've actually like put out the landing field for Santa, and you have to wait up because every year I put a bucket out, or I have a bucket of oats for the reindeer and apples and carrots and things like that. Yeah. And then of course you've got Santa's got to have a little something too. So there's always a little something for Santa, whether it's milk and cookies or maybe something a little extra.
Okay.
Extra, yeah. But anyway, so after being up that late, you don't want to get up that early. I'm sorry, you just don't. And for whatever reason, this is going to be an interesting year. This year is going to be interesting. Last year, it was like 5:30 a.m. So we'll have to see if I actually get past the 6 o'clock hour this year.
You own guns, right?
Not going to admit that. They got into a boating accident. I lost them all in a boating accident.
Okay. Just saying.
Yeah, this is a national-wide program. Do you honestly think I'm going to admit that on air?
Everyone owns guns. I don't own a gun, but
hey, this is America. Anyway, but yeah, so 6 a.m. We'll see what happens this year. Maybe I might be able to get a little bit of extra shut-eye. From all the wonderful things that are going on. Speaking of which, the next 2 weeks, ironically, Christmas and New Year's fall on a Saturday.
Yay, finally.
This year. I know, it's finally. And I'll be honest with you. Let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you a question because normally for us, by noon, we're typically done with, the unwrapping of the gifts and everybody's kind of just gone off and been doing their own thing and stuff like that. I've been toying with the idea and I've kind of go back and forth. I'm kind of 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Can't really come up with a definitive solution here. But do you think, in your opinion, do you honestly think that I should broadcast on Christmas?
Well, if you want to, you don't have an active following, at least on YouTube.
Right.
So no one is going to be there. So if you want to, it's just a replay anyway. So a live doesn't even necessarily have to be. You can pre-record it and then just upload it.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right. Same question for New Year's Eve.
Same answer.
Okay.
If you want to have, interaction, or no.
Well, I'm just not.
Christmas.
For me, to be honest, for next week for Christmas, I can see most people are going to be dealing with their families. I know that when we were growing up, and especially before the wonderful situation that we're in right now, we used to have like Christmas Eve at one family and then Christmas Day, Christmas afternoon at the other family. So I'm not exactly sure. Things are kind of different now. So I'm not 100% sure that, number one, I'm even going to be even here. But number two, it would be, I'm not entirely positive that having a show would actually be beneficial. New Year's Eve might be a little different. For those that don't want to go out and just want to, sit at home and do nothing, like, us old fuddy-duddies like myself, it may not be a bad idea. So I'm still considering it. I don't know if it's going to happen. It probably won't, but just to be on the safe side, I'm just going to kind of leave it out there. There may be a broadcast if I end up feeling like it, but don't be surprised if I don't for the next 2 weeks. But regardless, I just want to make sure that everybody understands that you're definitely.
I wouldn't worry about Christmas Day.
Yeah.
New Year's Day, everyone's recovering from New Year's Eve. So that
I guess that's right, because New Year's Eve's on the 31st. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, no one does anything on New Year's Day.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of wondering, maybe New Year's Eve. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what I would be talking about necessarily on New Year's Eve. That's the thing. I mean, it's kind of like...
Well, do you get together with anybody for New Year's Eve?
We have in the past. I don't know if we're going to this year, but we have in the past. But most of the time, it's just like, parties and stuff. I don't know how interested anybody might be for that. But
yeah, and if you want to do a live countdown.
Yeah. Which, I mean, in which case I would probably be rebroadcasting something and getting a whole bunch of, copyright dings anyway. So yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't, to me, it just doesn't feel right to do either one of them, to be honest with you. But again, like I said, I'm sort of on the fence because they fall on a Saturday. So I almost feel like, going 2 weeks without is maybe a stretch, but considering that it's the holidays, maybe not. Regardless, next year, full bore, I'll be back in, glorified style once again, to be able to take this on. So I think we are about 30 minutes past normally what I normally do, which is cool because specials are typical. So again, thank you very much for all of your tips and tricks and stuff like that. Hang out while I go and do the ending part of the program. And we'll talk to you in just a few minutes after the show's over.
Okay. Bye.
All right. So, for my final whiskey musings thought. Well, I'm just going to end it like this. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings I bring to you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good night, everybody. We'll see you probably next year on the Whiskey Musings broadcast. Good night, all.